Yeah, see that?
I mean, he got beat. I mean, he came off the snap one good step, but his step, it was short.
Guys, so we could be going on here, so it looks like we're coming back.
But we didn't get in trouble.
Mike Waller with his first playoff touchdown.
So I apologize about the feed and the delay in this game. That we had a problem with the feed, just some audio and technical difficulties, but we have them worked out. We bring you back here with 11:55 to go in the second quarter here at Chiefs Leschi Field. We've just recently had a score, a 25-yard touchdown pass to Mike Waller from Adam Cruz. To 0 again with 11:55 here to go in the second quarter as they go to attempt the point after touchdown. Everybody's lined up, squared away. The Rams sit back as they normally have during the PAT. Another low snap from the... And we have a whistle, and it looks like there's a flag on the field. Pre-snap flag. So this could bring this kick back.
That's one of those things where the defense jumps and then the offense responds to it. Now, maybe the offensive guy jumped earlier, but what I saw was the defense jumped, the offense responds to it, so that should be against the Rams.
And it was offsides on the defense. It was offsides on the defense. So here we go again from about a half yard in. Snaps up, kick. And it's good. Put another one on the board. So that puts the Puyallup Nation Kings 23 and the Rams of Wenatchee 0 with 11:55 to go here on cgame.live. cgame.live. Wonderful webcast for you folks, local live and worldwide.
Yeah, that was a nice long drive for a touchdown while we were away from the audience. And a couple of things we talked about this while we were off air. A couple of nice pass patterns, and the touchdown was scored by a receiver who didn't get the ball, getting down, throwing blocks. And that's something we've talked about all year. But that is how this touchdown occurred. It was a quick out, wasn't that big of a run, that big of a pass. The receiver's down there, makes a block, and we got to cut the ball. Is able to run into the end zone. And now it's unsportsmanlike conduct, so we'll be kicking off from deep in our own territory.
There's an unsportsmanlike conduct.
As the official reiterates there.
Right, on the Kings. And that'll be a 15-yard penalty, so they should be kicking off from their own 20-yard line. So we talked about field position earlier. It's played a great role in this game for the Kings, and we could say it's played a great role in this game for the Rams as well, as they haven't had great field position until possibly this kickoff here. Let's see if they can take advantage of the opportunity that has been presented to them by the lackadaisical effort of wanting to keep your head into the football game just because you have a large lead early.
Now's the time to put something together. I mean, we're still early enough in the game. They can turn this around.
And you have the kickoff. It's going to be picked up at the 30-yard line. 35-40. Outside, hit and out of bounds at the 41. So you will have the Rams of Wenatchee Valley taking over the football at the 41-yard line. And their helmsman at the quarterback coming back out to help out in the form of Zachary Clow.
And that was Devontae Cyprian with returning the ball. Good hit on the sidelines.
Former King Devontae Cyprian, number 3, with the run.
And we just both caught that over the loudspeaker. He's hyped for this game, being a former member of this team, and now playing in the other side in the white with the
Wenatchee Rams.
With the Wenatchee Rams, with the helmets that are similar to those of the Los Angeles Rams. One receiver far side, one receiver close. I formation. Hand off to the running back. Up the 2-hole, off the left side of the center. Picks up rumbles and tumbles and picks up about 5-7 yards down to the 48-yard line. The 48-yard line.
That was a good run. All right, I mean, there was a bunch of black shirts all around him. He wove in and out, not wide, but he cut a little here, cut a little bit there. He was able just to find the creases. I thought he was going to get hit back at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't. He was able to pull that out and get a good run, 7 yards.
Absolutely. Cloud comes back out again. I formation, the bus and the fullback. One receiver each side. Handoff left. Same play. Hit same spot. Picks up about 2 yards. Still short of the first down. We're going to be looking at 3rd and 1 to go.
Yeah, the bus made a pretty good kick out there, but it was not a bad job by Dante Green, which number 5, which doesn't make sense because he's a wide receiver. I'm not sure if I got that number right, but anyway, whoever was on the outside here, he sees the big guy coming at him. He gets upfield, he takes the hit on, he doesn't get knocked back out, so it didn't leave as big a hole for the running back as it looked like it might have been.
Same formation of they love to run. Tight end this side, wide receiver each side, I formation. Handoff to the up back. That's the fullback to the bus. And he's stuffed short. They go for the 1 yard with the man they call a bus, and he gets sit at the 1 yard line as all of the players for the Kings hold up no downs left over, as in 4th down. 4th and 1. At this point in time, down 23-0. 5 minutes into the second quarter. I mean, is it go for it territory? That's looking, I see Cloud coming back out after getting the play from his head coach. I think that they go for it here on 4th and 1 at their own 50-yard line.
Yeah, that's lots of times that's 50. How they would go.
Went back to Canada. Own 50. You can only have your own 50 in Canada.
Lots of big hits so far.
Yeah, you know what? I would kick it. I'd punt it.
Well, they decided not to. 2 receivers far side, 2 receivers this side.
That was smart.
And looks like they went with the hard count.
Yep, and you weren't here a couple of weeks ago. Our defense got caught twice on this type of thing, and that was a good call. You saw that. It was a hard count. Line up. That makes sense, right? Line up, right. Hard count. Take a timeout. You don't get the first half timeouts in the second half. That was a good call. That's exactly what they did.
Right. Deception was the name of the game. They came out in twin receiver formations to each side, and that's a formation they have not run all football game. And then you go with the hard count with the single back. It was deception from the beginning. They just didn't see it because they've been jumping off the line so well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done.
Congratulations to the Rams for taking advantage of the opportunity. Now here we go. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. 2 receivers far side, 2 receivers this side. Single back set. Cloud looks over left and right, takes the snap off the cadence, play action to the right, roll out, looks like he's going to keep it with nowhere to go, gets funneled into the middle and back to his own 48-yard line.
There's just nowhere to go. His running back actually got out, made a pretty good block to give him some chance to try to roll on out, but there were just so many Kings coming at him, he never had a chance. There was John Rossi, went out, made a pretty good hit on the defensive end on the left of the Kings, but there was just so much pursuit.
And there's also a flag on the field. The preliminary call on the field was a holding, but I'm trying to see what the official call will be.
It's going to be a legal block in the back on the defense and the penalty between the offense.
So it will be a legal block in the back on the offense. The penalty will be declined. And we will still sit at 2nd and about 16 from their own 49-yard line of the Wenatchee Rams. Now, I saw the running back in the backfield, number 32, who did take a good clean lick at one of the players that was funneling in on the quarterback as that play came to, well, I'd say completion. And here we go. Single set receivers each side, I formation as they have tend to run. The bus at full back in the I formation. Chloe looks left and right. Looks over the defense. Cadence. Snap. Hands off to the left back, up the left side, and there is nowhere to go. The ball's out. I don't hear a whistle. Oh, they are going to whistle him down. My fault. I jumped too early. That ball looked like it was out, but they're going to call him down. Nonetheless, based on that mark, it's going to be a loss of 2 more yards. Looking at approximately 3rd and 18.
Yeah, on that hit was Ben Emo, and that's just classic linebacker play. All right, you scrape to the hole, cut upfield, charge upfield when you see the running back getting ready to turn and hit the hole. That was perfect. Slid sideways, scrape to the hole, accelerates through the hole, hits the guy in the backfield, knocked the ball out. Luckily for them, they were down.
Exactly. You have to scrape. That's a word that is taught to many and many linemen if you've never known. Scrape. Leverage and scrape. Twin receivers to either side. Single back will be the fullback. Three-step drop. Looks for a quick pass to the right. There is nobody home. There had to be a miscommunication on the route or a miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback. Either way, that ball was thrown where nobody was getting it.
Yeah, the miscommunication was called the right defensive end from the Kings. He was on that guy before they even had a chance to get set up.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a wheel route, but the ball would have been overthrown either way. A wheel route to being, if you are on the outside, you're going to run towards the line of scrimmage and kind of turn your body upfield towards the end zone. Wheel outside, and that ball's generally thrown around the turn, if you will, of a wheel, and that's where the ball's thrown ahead of time, and it was thrown at that point in time, but nobody was home. Excellent defense, that push. I mean, there's nothing else you can say, Randall. You've covered that portion of it.
Yeah, so that was a good play all around.
Yeah, back to 4th and 18. Looks like we're going to punt. Back deep is Waller for the Kings. An excellent punt. Waller back is going to... The ball's going to bounce out at about the 3-yard line. Where are they going to mark this? They're going to mark it at the 7. They will gladly take that form of a coffin corner. I thought it went out at the 3. Waller should have ran up and tried to get that football, and I think he may be having a conversation about that right now.
It seemed like maybe it had an unusual bounce, because that's right, and we talked about this in previous games, is that every 10 yards, that's 4 downs. You let it bounce, you let it go another 10 yards, that's the equivalent of a whole series of downs. And but when it hit, I think it might have confused him on the bounce. You know, one of the things, though, what you try to do, although it was all the way on the sidelines, what you try to do is catch the ball.
Yeah, with his speed, he should have got over there. Personal opinion, of course, there may have been his coach, I did not see, may have waved him off. You know, there's that possibility too. But if he's back there, he's trusted. So at that point in time, that's his decision. What do the Kings come out and do? Deep in their own territory. The worst field position that they've had all game, and obviously all playoffs, because this is their first.
Yeah, this is good, though. This is good. Let's see him drive it all the way down the field.
All right. 2 receivers far side. Snap. Hand off to the left side. You got the McKee running upfield. Cuts back inside. He's hit. Still carrying a tackler. Picks up. Actually, I'm going to say that he may have lost a yard unless they give him forward progress.
Yeah, he's sprinting to the left sideline, the left of the Kings. He has to make his cut. He turns up, and there was nothing there. But, you know, at least he didn't lose a whole lot.
No, they gave him forward progress for 2 yards, Randall. You're right there. So we're coming out here. 2nd down and approximately 8. Twin receivers set to each side. Shotgun formation again. McKee behind Cruz. Motion man coming across. Hand off to McKee up the middle, and he is met immediately in the hole. Sent back to the line of scrimmage. We're going to be looking at 3rd and 10 from about the 6.5, 7 yard line again. See if we can run that back, as that hole got plugged instantly.
I wonder what happened there. Yeah, and this is the worst place on the field to have to not be able to knock the people off the line.
Well, they've been able to pass the ball quickly and downfield. It amazes me that they've taken that away and are probably going to look to do it here now on 3rd and long with twin receivers each side. Long side of the field's far. One running back set. Klaus drops back. Looks, receiver overthrows Waller, who was sitting in the hole. Now, that is something that is very important. Receivers often sit in holes instead of running their route, but you got to get to the marker.
Yeah, no, there was a miscommunication. The receivers, each receiver ran what the other receiver thought he was supposed to run. That was, you can see him look back at the quarterback. There was someone didn't run this route they were thinking they were going to run.
If you're running a stop route, you have to get at least to the marker. Neither of them were to the marker, so either way, whichever one of them made the mistake, whether it be both of them or one of them, that needs to be hashed out, because if you're not going to throw the ball to the marker, there's almost no point in doing it. So, from about 2 yards from the back of the end zone, we are going to see a punt. This should give... This will make the 2nd time in this football game, more than likely, that the Rams will have been on the opponent's side of the field. Snap, low snap, stumbled. Ooh, he barely got the kickoff. Might have been tipped. Fair catch called for. Touched and fully let go, and it's recovered. Oh, it's recovered by the Rams, who happen to have a personal protector in the area to recover that football. Check out the replay as we start with the low snap and then the bobble of the ball. So 2 mistakes to begin with, low snap. bobble.
And the King guy rolls right over the ball. He almost had, he saw that. He says, I got a fumble recovery, and he ends up just rolling over it.
Absolutely.
And the ball came back to the kick returner who fumbled it in the first place.
So, the question of the day, with this being the second time that the Rams of Wenatchee have been on the opposing side of the ball's team, opposing team side of the ball, what do they do with their greatest field position? Do they try to run it as they've been? Do they try the quick outs? They've only tried to go downfield maybe once or twice. There has not been a 7-step drop. There are no deep drops. Let's see what they do with their twin receiver set top side, one set near side. I formation, running fullback in motion. Hand off to the left-hand side. Again, trying to get through that hole, but the penetration doesn't allow for much. May have picked up a yard or may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but either way, it's not going to be a large gain.
Yeah, no, they sent a backer on a blitz. They haven't been doing that a lot, and lots of times, they ran in that area. Lots of times, if the running back's able to break it through the line and they have a blitz, that can be a big play, but again, it's just they rally to the ball. The Kings are getting to the football, so their one chance right there that maybe they could have broken it for a gain. The rest of the defense came and shut it down.
5:15 here to go in the second quarter. Kings 23, Rams 0. As Klaus goes under center, one receiver each side, I formation, tight end near side, slot. And it looks like we may have an offsides call, but the play can still go through if they recognize it. Take the knee and take the offsides. They were unaware. Everybody stopped play because of the penalty. With that kind of offsides penalty, if the whistle isn't blown, you can continue, and you basically get a free play.
It's a free play.
You have to be aware.
Defensive offsides, so you go ahead and play it out. Then you have the choice. You can either take the result of the play or take the penalty.
Correct. Either way, it's not negative towards you.
Right. But they had to blow the whistle there because it was unabated.
Correct.
In other words, when the offense didn't do anything, they couldn't let the quarterback just take the hit.
Wow.
So that's why they went ahead and blew the whistle, even though it was a defensive penalty. It was because to protect the quarterback.
So again, it will be offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty. 2nd and 4 to go. I formation, single set each side for wide receivers. And Klaus is trying to get his receiver up to the line of scrimmage so that he has the right formation. It would have been illegal formation otherwise. Snap, handoff to the running back left side. Tripped up real quick in the backfield by number 28, Isaiah Martin.
That was a good play. He's been having a great season at pass rush. In that case, he just shot upfield and was right into the running.
Well, and that was a shoestring tackle, but it was a first down saving shoestring tackle because he had good momentum going forward in that hole. So excellent play right there. Open field tackle by number 28, Isaiah Martin.
Yeah, we'll give him credit for that, but as you were alluding to earlier, is about when you're open field, you want to get in the good body position. That was not a great breakdown tackle, but that doesn't matter, right? Because he made the tackle, and that's what the main thing is. You make the tackle, got upfield pretty quick. Seems like he was on a pass rush and was right into the lane of the ball carrier.
I'll give him 2 seconds on film for that just to tell him he did wrong, but good job, and then we'll keep pushing. So let's go back out to the field right now as the Rams line up in the same formation, single receiver set each side, I formation. Play action, roll out to the right, nowhere for him to go. He lost the ball before he was down, and the Kings are going to recover. That was an excellent play in there by number 53, Benzo Scanlon. Got in there as quickly as possible in the type of tackle, the form tackle, the head and the numbers, wrapped him up and taking him down. The ball pops up and was clearly recovered by the Kings.
Isaiah Martin on that play. He came on the end.
They're going to call him down. And again, I don't know if we can see the replay on that, but I don't believe that he was down. Let's check this out as we go to the replay. Scanlon comes in, makes the tackle. He is not down when that ball flies up. I commend what these gentlemen do on the field on first glance, but I'm going to have to respectably disagree in that situation.
So they got both of the ends were involved on that play. The left end, Scanlon hits the quarterback. The right end, Isaiah Martin's upfield. He's there to recover the fumble. All to naught, though, because he was ruled down.
So everybody in punt formation. This time you have two people back. Waller, and I'll have to check in on the other individual back for the Kings. Snap, punts up. It's an okay one. Low liner. Waller lets it go and defers. Picked up at the 3-yard line. Skates one way, skates the other, cuts left, has a hole up the middle, picks up some speed. To 30, picks up the 40, breaks another tackle, and he's tackled at the 43-yard line. He broke one more tackle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, he's going for the gauntlet, but he was pulled down at the 43-yard line on the King side of the football. Waller is making some interesting choices back there on the punt return, but it turned out well for them this time. Ooh, boy,
Let's
Randall.
give credit to Taj Perry with a good block right there at the end. Added a few extra yards to the return. We have an injured Ram on the field. He's up and slowly making his way to the sidelines.
He is up and moving, so that is a good sign.
Looks like we have number 33 who'd be the injured player. Looks to be making his way off on his own side, holding his left side.
Just shy of midfield. The ball is going to be placed at the 43.
But he's getting off the field gingerly, but on his own power. As
You know,
the Puyallup Nation Kings, Puyallup Nation Kings come to the line. Two receivers near side, two receivers far side. Give you a good formation again.
After that concession stand, gets your slice of pizza and a drink.
Klaus sends his running back in motion near side. Snap, two-step drop, quick pass. Gets it off quick to Waller. Waller secures it, knowing he's going to take the hit, which is what you do if you're a receiver. Excellent quick pickup of 5 yards. So we're going to be looking at 2nd and 5 to go here, Randall.
Colt Thompson on the tackle there for the Wenatchee Rams. Wrapped them up pretty well. Stopped them at that point.
He's shown how much of a threat he could be on the 25-yard touchdown that he scored earlier. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field. It's going to be the 2-minute warning here at Chief Leschi Stadium. Western Washington Football Association playoffs between the Puyallup Nation Kings and the Wenatchee Rams. Kings 23, Rams 0 as we take 2 minutes.
And this is one of those combination of the rules because, of course, the 2-minute warning isn't in college, but they do this in this league. So we get the 2-minute warning, but only 1 foot needs to be in on a pass catching on the sideline to count. That's the hybrids of college and pro rules.
Right. There you go. That's a very good explanation of the two. So you have 51 yards to go, 2 minutes, 2nd and 5. The way their offense has been going, they can just move the ball down the field, assuming the Rams can't make a play. But I tell you, if the Rams ever need to make a play, it's not only just stopping them from getting in the end zone, but it's just, and now is the time. And I don't think that the Kings are going to hold up. They're coming out 2 wide on each side as per usual. Wide running back set to the right. Motion again. Look for that quick pass to Waller over the middle. Klaus looks left, sees Waller, rolls out to his right, looks a little bit deep, gets his hands out.
And that is it. He put his feet right inside the sideline. Once again, he sees where he needs to get the first down. He gets there, but that was some great foot placement. It was only an inch to spare, I would say.
Pierre Colliver on the first down touch. The best thing about that, outside of maybe the footwork, is I don't know if you saw him. He showed the quarterback his hands. He stuck his hands out in that triangle form. He showed the quarterback his hands and where to put that ball. They connected well to pick up that first down.
Gave him a good target there.
Opponent's 45-yard line. Single receiver set near side, 2 receivers far side. Running backs either side of the quarterback. Klaus looks left, calls the cadence, checks right. Running back gets set, takes the snap. He's looking straight down the middle. Tried to set up a screen, and the screen is set up to Waller, who's got some space if he can get outside with an excellent block. Picks up a few yards. The Rams sniffed it out. There's an injured Ram on the field. Waller was really able to make something out of nothing. And big credit to the quarterback, Klaus, for just backing up and taking his time and trying to let it develop. It's really hard to be patient on a screen pass.
Yeah, that was a middle screen, in fact, right there in the middle. He ran a long ways. We got a good gain on that, but he ran about 50 yards to gain 8 or 9. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that.
score is still.
You know, in that case, you want to hold them up a little bit more than that because the quarterback was on a full back pedal right before he threw the ball. It was a good throw. We completed that.
Which is the number one key.
That's the number one key.
Whenever your quarterback's on a full back pedal, you look at those pulling linemen, and you know it's a screen every time. Two receivers set this side, single receiver set left side of the quarterback. Running back either side. Klaus sends his running back in motion. Waller, check that. That's a wide receiver in motion. Nobody off the left side. He throws it up. He's got a receiver wide open, and it's dropped in and out of the midst. He hit him just where you don't want to, in the hands.
Where's that?
In the hands. And he dropped it. You can see this. He threw it off his back foot and laid it in the bread basket, and nobody was home to eat.
Nice throw, though. That was a nice throw. Because like you said, he didn't really stride into it like we were talking about earlier, and it was just a touch pass. Not bad coverage.
No. Right? He split them in double coverage. The safety was coming over in man coverage, or coming over in cover 2 to cover his zone of that. If you guys are Seahawks fans out there and you ever watch Earl Thomas playing center field back there and coming over, and sometimes that ball might get there, but Earl's faster. That's what happened, but the ball was dropped. Klaus hands off to the running back, splits left, cuts right, makes his way upfield, picks up enough for what appears to be a first down, so they should be moving the chains, and the clock is ticking as we get down to 1 minute and 25 here. So that's another hybrid rule. Looks like with the first down marker, it's a college rule, timeout with the first down marker. They set up, time winds, the ball spot, single receiver set this side. We're going to get a false start on Waller.
That's one of those things that usually your wide receiver out there, he's just going to wait for the ball to snap. He's usually not actually going to go on the snap. So you know what I think that was? I think that was the train.
I was going to say there's a unique situation that takes place at this beautiful, beautiful campus in Chief Leschi Stadium down here, is that it is home and right next to a train line, a major one. So oftentimes you do get freight trains coming through at the wrong time, and it is at a crossing. So you do hear the horn. So let's get back out to the action on the field. 1 minute to go here in the second half, or second quarter. Two receivers set either side. Klaus drops back, looking right, steps up, has a receiver open. If he catches it, it's going to be a touchdown, and Waller caught it, and it's a touchdown. I don't see any flags for where. Put the points on the board.
There is a flag, but that's the offsides on the Ram. The Ram right, the right defensive end of the Rams left to our side was offsides, and then he quit running, right? And so that was a free play we were talking about earlier. I'm wrong again.
Two wrongs, they can make a right for you tonight, Randall. I got you on the next one.
Yeah,
you're going to get the next one.
What I'm going to say, if we can see it, it'd be good. I'm going to say this is something where the offensive guy had to jump. That defensive guy was way over. Let's see if we can see that again. The right defensive end for the Rams off our left offensive line was way across the line.
It looks like our replay ran a little bit into it, but we're going to get back to the play on the field here. Either way, they pulled back points off the board, no matter how you look at it.
That was a sweet play, though.
Two receivers set each side. Again, here we go. Klaus running back to his right-hand side just for a protector. He picks up the blitz, steps up to the throw. Short throw over the middle, step out of bounds to save some time. So now we're going to be looking at approximately about 1st and 13 with 44.6 seconds to go. 23-0. Puyallup Nation leads this football game here for the Western Washington Football Association playoffs.
That was a good route combination there. Good call by Coach Mack, the offensive coordinator. Put a guy out of bounds real quick so we get a chance to stop the clock. We're moving down. We're getting close to field goal range if we don't make it into the end zone. But I'm looking for us to take a shot or two at the end zone.
Well, they've obviously been there on the left-hand side. Don't be surprised to see that. So we step back into the formations again. Trips near side. Weller by himself on the far side. It looks like you got cover 2 on the defense. You got Kraus in the back. Klaus in the back. One receiver. Cruz. And that is blown protection by the offensive line and the running back not picking up the blitz. This is a bad time to have a blown protection. 10 seconds elapse and you gain nothing. Timeout, Kings.
That was a contained rusher, and I don't think they blew that guy just got around him. That was the right defensive end, came contained rush, and he was not picked up well.
He wasn't picked up at all. You might as well just let it be what it is. Sometimes the running back made a mistake. I watched it happen on that play. The running back did not get to where he was supposed to be, and you could actually see the confusion in conversation after the play, and they're kind of looking around. Whose guy was that? He was supposed to be picked up, and that's the running back's job. You know, sometimes as a quarterback, you can call that snap count too fast and not allow your running back to see where he's supposed to be or where his pickup is supposed to be. Sometimes you can kind of doom yourself in that situation. As we get to the play, back down on the field. 34.2 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Kings lead 23-0 over the Rams of Wenatchee. Weller steps to this side with the other receiver, so that's two this side and two far side.
Chance Dollarheight gets on the field at left offensive tackle for us.
And that's probably an improvement over what we've seen, unfortunately, for the beginning of the game. Snap, quick pass in the air, just to throw it up and see if it's there, and just a little bit too long. But I appreciate the effort and the stretch to get out towards that football by number 12, Pierre Culliver.
And that's the deal where one more step, if you could have got one more step in there, he might have had a shot at that.
All right, it's one more step, or if that ball was slightly more inside, but then it might have been picked off. So there's a very fine line of where to put that ball and where it was going to be caught. As we take the action and the clock begins to wind.
Fourth down.
Here it's fourth and about 14. And they're going to go for it, obviously, with the way their team's been playing. Trips receiver each, or double receivers each side. Rolls to his left, non-throwing shoulder, puts it up in the end zone, has a receiver wide open, looks at his feet, gets them down, call it a touch. Down. Touchdown, Puyallup Nation Kings. They stretch their lead, barring anything on the PAT, to 30-0. With that, it's 29. PAT upcoming to make it 30. How about that, Randall?
Yeah, that was some nice footwork there on the end line of the end zone. It's not that he was that close, but he got his feet down. There was no question that he was in the end zone right there on the line. And, you know, the great thing about that, too, is who's going to catch the ball if it's not us? If the receiver doesn't catch it there, we're not going to turn the ball over.
Right. Put it where only your guy can get it.
Yeah.
So excellent play all around by the tribe, by the Puyallup Nation. They obviously, you can see why they've been back-to-back national championships. There's an early thrashing going on right now here in the Puyallup Valley, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it seems that they are missing a player. Okay, so we're all set now.
As they proceed into getting into point after touchdown formation, they're going to go for two. Snaps up, throws it up. Let's see who fights for the ball. And it's defended well, and they're going to. So I said, barring something funny on the PAT, I don't know if you consider that funny, but we're at 29-0 with 23.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, why would they go for two there? And was there a call on that?
There was not, and there was a flag on the play, but it is going to be declined. So we will move to the kickoff with 23.1 seconds to go here in the second quarter of this WWFA playoff game, live on CGame.live. 29-0, Kings over the Rams.
Yeah, so far we've been doing pretty much everything we need to do. Offense, defense, maybe a few breakdowns here and there, but overall, you know, and that's the thing. When you're up 29-0, 29 in the first half, it's tough to find anything to complain about. Good defense, good offense, running the ball, passing the ball. It's just really another great Kings offensive game.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I mean, how could I not? I mean, the scoreboard shows the same. I think they had some struggles on that last drive with their offensive line, but you noted some changes that they made on left tackle. Maybe just get him a couple reps before they bring him out for the second half. We'll see what they do at left tackle, if they make that switch permanent with the struggles they've had, so that they allow Cruz to have some more time. We'll see. But for now, let's go down to the field, back to the kickoff with 23 seconds to go. Kicks in the air. It's a good kick. Far right side. It's going to be received. Taken at the 8-yard line. Back up the middle. There's a tackler. Cuts through. taken down at his own 22-yard line, and that's where the Rams will start this drive with 18 seconds to go before halftime and all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Do they make an opportunity to get downfield? Do they just take it into the locker room and try to come out and battle for the next 30 minutes in the second half of this football game? We'll see as they get the ball set.
That was making that tackle, knifing through, right? He sees here comes the line of blockers. He knifes through, makes the tackle. That was Pierre Culliver, the wide receiver, just getting down there and making a big play, pinning the Rams deep in their territory. And you know what? That was another example of where the wide receivers for the Kings, they don't just catch passes, which they do a pretty good job of, but they throw blocks, and in this case, they cover kickoffs.
To the line they come. The Rams of Wenatchee. Clow under center. 3 receivers near side. Hands off to the bus up the middle. Their big fullback. Looks like they're going to be content to take it into the locker room as the clock goes tick, tick, tick under 10. No timeouts being called. They're going to take us in the locker room, discuss this 29-0 halftime deficit that the Puyallup Nation Kings have put on the Wenatchee Rams here on CGame.live.
And you know, like a month ago, the final score was 19-0, and it was looking to me like the Rams were ready to play football. They won their first playoff game last week, so this is a lot better than we were expecting. Not better than we were expecting the Kings to do, but I was expecting a closer game.
Well, just going into the half here, there are a few things that are going to need to be addressed, and that's something that we'll discuss coming out of the half as we step into halftime here in the Puyallup Valley. Puyallup Nation Kings 29, Wenatchee Rams 0.
Coach, we're with the head coach of the Wenatchee Rams. Can you give me your name, please?
Mickey White.
Mickey White, and you're also the owner, right?
I am. My wife and I are sole owners.
Wow, congratulations on the year that you've had this year. Now, the Rams have had a great run so far. How many league championships in a row did you win?
We won 5 in a row. We've been in the championship 8 years in a row, and then won a national title in 2015.
And then there was a national title, and that's why Wenatchee is such a well-respected team in this league. Now you played here a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and we were able to pull that one out in 19-0. However, we didn't really put it away until one of the last plays of the game, where you guys were about to score. We picked it off, returned it for a touchdown. You had a great offense that game, and run the I formation. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were a lot of I. We spread it out some, but we were mainly I. Last time we played, we were missing our quarterback, as well as the Kings were missing their quarterback. So it kind of knew both teams were going to keep the ball on the ground, load the box, and just give it to the bigs that game.
What was enjoyable about that game was that you have a fullback. You don't see the fullback utilized that often anymore in the run game, and I like that guy. You have one tough fullback. You want to speak to him a little bit?
Yeah, Joseph Williams has played 2 years with us. He owned a team in Palouse for about 7 years, and he's an ex-WSU fullback. So he's put on a little weight in his older years, but he still can lay hat and get the job done.
Well, I didn't realize he had that much experience. It's a nice way of saying he's old. But I noticed him. I really liked the way he would get out there and stick it in there and lead the running back through the hole. Now, the quarterback, you didn't have him last time. Now you have Zach Clow. I want to talk to him.
Yeah, Zach's a pretty versatile guy. We don't ask a lot of him. We're a control-the-clock offense. We run the ball mainly, do a little play action, but he can sling it too. He spins a nice ball out there. It's catchable. He's also one of our starting linebackers and safeties as well. So, Zach, we ask an awful lot of Zach, on top of the fact he's our kicker. So Zach's kind of our utility guy, but he's good at everything he does.
Well, asking a quarterback to kick, that's not quite amazing. But linebacker, you got a quarterback that plays linebacker. What is the mentality of a quarterback that can go out there and play linebacker? He must have a special kind of mentality there.
He does. He's like a chameleon. He can lead the offense and keep it cool, calm, and collected, get him on the defensive side, and he's foaming at the mouth. So he's a pretty special guy.
That is special. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to look forward to watching his type of play. A quarterback that also plays linebacker. You know, the Wenatchee is really an excellent place for football. You want to talk to how the history of Wenatchee? I mean, you guys have had some great runs, but I know as a matter of fact that last year in the Northwest Athletic Conference elected a Wenatchee junior college football team to the Hall of Fame. They won the national champions in '82. I know the high schools are pretty tough over there. Can you talk to the football tradition that you see in the Wenatchee Valley?
I'm from the east side of the river, so we're not as rich in tradition in East Wenatchee, but Wenatchee does. Their football team back in the 70s and 80s, and I'm speaking on high school now, they've had some seasons where no one even scored on them. Won quite a few state titles under legendary head coach Lee Bofto. Then, of course, at the college, they had a few runs at the national title, won the one in '82, but they were extremely competitive for years. So a lot of football tradition in Wenatchee.
Yeah, on the east side, in fact, I'm a truck driver, and that's where they have a lot of the warehouses. I have spent quite a bit of time on the east side of the river there in Wenatchee making pickups. So, and again, now I happen to be from San Diego, and one of our great coaches down there was Don Coryell. Yep. He was at St. Louis Rams when they were the Rams, and he went to San Diego. But he actually started out his college coaching career at Wenatchee.
He did, yeah. Don was there, I believe, just one season. Then he moved on. He's a bright guy, obviously. He moved on to a higher level. But we've had some other pretty good coaches there as well. Sandy Cooprider was an amazing coach. John Muriel, Paul Seal, Gene Baker. All of them have pretty rich tradition in coaching football. Won some JUCO championships, some of those guys down in California as well. So they brought one to Wenatchee, so we were happy they came up here.
Now, Sandy Cooprider, that is a character because I actually talked to him at the Hall of Fame induction. He was there, and he was there also when I was coaching at Walla Walla Community College. So not only was he a great coach, but he's just a legendary storyteller. Have you ever had him explain any of the little things about the intricacies of Wenatchee football?
Oh, yeah. Sandy's a close family friend of ours, in fact. So my dad's got pretty rich tradition in baseball in the Wenatchee Valley, and he and Sandy have been great friends for years. No, Sandy's a good guy.
Yeah, and baseball's big in Wenatchee too, but nothing quite like football. Okay, Coach. So what do we look for this game? You mentioned you didn't have the quarterback last year, or excuse me, the last time we played. He's here. You guys were in the game. One of the closest games we've had all year, or well, this year, the closest this year, but one of the closest in several years here with the Kings. What are we looking for today?
Well, you know, I'm getting a little cliche here, but I mean, for us, we got to control the clock, not turn the ball over, and you know, the Kings have such a high-powered offense, especially with the return of Adam Cruz at quarterback. We're going to have to create a lot of turnovers. Our guys, we're 17, 18 deep today, which is unfortunate. Over the years, we've been 14 years strong with the Rams, and this year was low numbers. We talked about not having a team, so not very many guys came out last second, and it's hurt us. Attrition's hurt us in the third and fourth quarter. Hopefully the guys – it's not as hot over here, so hopefully they can get through the game.
We were talking about that earlier in the production meeting that we're glad we would rather be the away game here in the weather. It's a good thing you're in white. That's too bad you don't have the numbers. Is there any last thing you'd like to tell the viewers?
Just we appreciate the WWFA. This is our last go this year as the Wenatchee Valley Rams. We've been doing it for 14 years. Really appreciate everybody back home. Our community has been amazing. When we made that run in 2015 to go to national title, they helped raise us $36,000 as a community so we could go, and no one had to pay anything. So it's been a blessing. It's been a fun time.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, they are so supportive of football there in the Wenatchee Valley. Okay, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight, this afternoon. Maybe not that much good luck, but I hope it's a good game. It was the best game so far. It was a great game the last time we played, and you were short on numbers then, too. That's too bad. I wish you guys stay in the league and build up those numbers and have many more games, many more years of great games. So thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
And we're here with the head coach of the Kings, Coach Tutu. Could you give us your full name?
My name is Tutamua Tamalavita.
Great, Coach. It's a rematch. It was about a month ago we played them. They gave us a heck of a good game here. What are we looking for tonight?
Nothing different, just execute and just do our game plan. Just play our game and don't play to their level. And it's very simple. I mean, either we win or we go home.
So that's the great thing about when you're in the playoffs, isn't it? Right? You know, they have their new quarterback back, or their old quarterback, but he's back. Zach Clow, he's a heck of a football player from what we hear. He also plays linebacker. Are you planning on doing anything different now that they have their first-line quarterback back?
We ain't going to change up nothing. I mean, the way we ran our game last year, when we played them in the championship, everything was still the same. I know the game this year, or in the regular season, he wasn't here, but we just played our game, just simple game, simple football game. You know, I mean, nothing new. Same quarterback. We ain't gonna change nothing. I mean, he's the same quarterback with the same team, so you know.
It's kind of neat to see. For me, old school, they run the I formation, run the fullback quite a bit.
Yeah.
Turns out the fullback, he's a little older guy. He's to own a team. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he is, and I think Wenatchee, they're like 90-10, 90% run, 10% pass. So we already knew coming into this game, we already know what they're going to do. But at the same time, we're still going to check on the passing, but they run heavy. So still game plan A, we're still going to stick with that. If anything comes different, then we're going to change it. But other than that, if it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's broken, fix it.
Well, along those lines, and I'm not disagreeing with that, but the last game, 19-0, is how we beat them.
Yeah.
But that was the closest game I've seen this year. It's one of the closest games probably in your whole tenure as a head coach.
Yeah.
So now, if you recall, which I'm sure you do, they were about to score, and that would put them within a few points of us, and we picked them off on the goal line, no less, and ran it all the way back.
Yes.
So that was one heck of a game. You've already kind of addressed this already. You're just going to do what we do. But is there anything that you noticed from that last game that you think you might adjust for this game?
No. Well, actually, you know what? The only person that we was missing was our starting quarterback. And since now he's back, it's going to be a whole different story. You know what I mean? So we had our third string playing that game. So we ain't going to change nothing. It's still the same game plan, you know.
And what a great return that is. Getting Cruz back, that's going to be great. And is Burkett going to play tonight?
Yes, he is. He is going to play tonight. He's going to play tonight.
That's the great receiver. Okay, Coach, thanks a lot. We're looking forward to a great game. This is an exciting time of the year, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah.
We're with the Kings all-star quarterback. Missed the first part of the season. We were still able to hang in there. A lot of that because we have a great offensive coordinator, Coach Mack. And could you introduce yourself? This is our all-star quarterback.
Adam Cruz, number 2.
And I mentioned Mack. You seem to have a great working relationship with the offensive coordinator. Could you address that?
Oh yeah, Mac's my guy, man. We've been rolling together for I'd say since 2010, I think 2009 when the Cobras won their first championship. So I mean that's my go-to guy, man. Me and him we got a good working chemistry, and we like championships, so it works out, you know.
Yes, you missed the first 3 games. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
And then since then, you've been having just a record-setting year. One of the things I've noticed is that Coach Mack and you just seem to be on the same page. I see sometimes you'll be in the same formation, but each play is different. It's like you line up in the same formation. So why don't you address that, how you set the defense up for the subsequent plays?
Yeah. So basically that's what we try to do, just set the defense up, come out with the same look, just giving different options and making the defense have to come down onto something or back up on something, and we always got a short and a deep route, so it works out,
And do you guys actually talk about that before the game? I guess you're not just ad-libbing out there.
It's me and Mac have a good system. Yeah. We're a little bit of it's ad lib, and also if it's just we just play football, and some of it's kind of thought of and everything. So.
Right, because I notice, like, you'll have the same formation, and you'll look at one guy, and that's where the ball's going. And then the next play, same formation, maybe different motion, right? Yep. Same formation, and then you're looking right at a different guy, and that's where the ball's going.
Well, the goal is just to make it as easy as possible for the guys. This isn't like high school where you get to practice 5 days a week and watch film. Right. So I just try to make it as easy as possible and let the athletes be athletes and play ball, and it just keeps it simpler, slant to slant, hitch is a hitch, basic stuff, so. Great.
Okay, and in closing, give a shout-out to some of the receivers that have really been doing the job for you.
Yeah, all of them. They've all been doing great. I just want to give a shout-out to my O-line, though. That's where the butter's at, so got to go with that.
Well, as a line coach, I love that kind of answer. Okay, hey, thanks a lot, and good luck tonight. The reasons the Kings have been so successful this year is the outstanding defense. Great pass rush, great defensive line, but especially the coverage and the defensive backs. And we're with one of the stars on the team here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Rome Williams. I play free safety and return.
And this is a big game here. Last game we played, it was a close game right to the end. And you remember that they were driving at the end of the game, and then someone picked it off and went all the way back for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was our corner, Seif. He picked it off in the end zone and went 100 and so yards. I believe he's starting today. He's a baller.
Hey, that's great. You know, now they have their first-string quarterback back who wasn't there before. Do you have anything special in mind for him?
No, we're very familiar with him. We played him last year. We know what their offense likes to do. They like to run the ball and be real physical and get nasty. So as a secondary, we just got to make sure we don't fall asleep back there and play a good game all 4 quarters.
And how long have you been with the Kings?
This is actually my second season.
Second season, because actually it was the Wenatchee Rams were the class of the league for years and years, and they won a national championship back in 2015. 5 times league champs, and it's you guys. It's the Kings that replaced them, and it's interesting. When the Kings began to replace him, it was Stu became the head coach, and you joined the team. So just speak to what's it like now with the Kings, the resurgent Kings, and the way they're going. What's the attitude with this team?
We're just hungry. Every time we go out on the field, you know that everybody that steps out on the field is going to get their everything. You know, you're going to get our all, and nobody's going to ever quit. And that's why we always play hard. That's why we always dominate teams in the first half. You know, because we come out and we're not playing any games, and we turn that switch, and it's just time to go. And you know, we don't worry about all the rankings and all that other stuff. We just play hard football. That's it. So that's pretty much it. You know, we just gotta hard work.
Well, in closing, you know, when Coach Tutu got here and you got here is when you guys really started winning big time. And I've noticed that there's something about Coach Tutu that somehow really meshes with this team. What is it that you particularly like about the way Coach Tutu approaches the team and football?
He just finds that real even zone. He knows when to turn it on. He knows when to get our attention. He knows when to get after us, and he knows that most of the time we're going to take care of business. But he is the head coach, so sometimes he needs to, you know, step in and tell us, you know, what needs to happen. And as a captain on this team, we just follow his lead.
And here we are back at Chief Les Shy Stadium, getting ready to start off the second half. 29-0, a big lead by the Kings. And so far, what's impressed you the most with the play of the Kings this half?
Well, I think the obvious thing is the domination overall. How you look at this football game, they've dominated in all 3 phases, offensively, defensively, and in special teams. You start with special teams, going backwards from what I just did forward. Special teams, they've dominated in field position. The Rams have only held the ball twice on their opposing side of the Kings side of the ball. Offensively, look at the score. It tells its own story. They do have 1 defensive touchdown, so that tells you right there the domination that they've had on the defensive side of the ball. The Rams just have to get something going offensively. They've had a couple good stretches defensively, but on the offensive side of the ball, they have struggled to the extent that they haven't put up any points.
Yeah, each time it seems like they are in good field position. They have a chance to try to make something happen. The Kings are able just to nullify that series.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kings, ultimately, they have better personnel. That's what it seems to be to me as of this point in time. Yes. And it's proven that they're bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah, that's it. They're bigger, faster, stronger, and we have numbers too. Okay, so we're going to kick off. The Kings are kicking off. The Wenatchee is back to return. Wenatchee's going to open the second half with the ball. Hey, you know, now's the time to make something happen. 29 points. The game's not over. It is if you consider how we've been playing. You consider how they've been playing. But there's still a chance, and now would be the time, I would think, to start the comeback for Wenatchee.
Well, I tell my team 2 things coming out the locker room right now. If they put up 29 points on us, why can't we put up 29 points on them?
Exactly.
And the second thing I tell them is we get the ball coming out, and we need to set the tone. From the second that they kick this ball off and we take possession to the second we have our first offensive snap, we must take control of the second half of football in order to have a chance to stay in this playoff run.
Oh, and it's just a short kick. possibly could have let that go out of bounds and then would have got the ball right about where it is right now. James Hunt is the one that recovers that. So let's see what's going to happen here. It is tough because they have the running offense. I'm talking about Wenatchee, of course, with the full backfield.
High formation.
It's tough to score a lot of points in a hurry, but you got a whole half, so let's see what we're going to do here.
Correct, and they haven't taken any deep shots. You see quick passes, quick drops, three-step drops, three-step and go, one and go. You see those quick passes that are picking up maybe 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, but they're getting stopped when it comes to that third down possession, that third and short. And, we haven't talked about penalties at all. Penalties have hurt both of these teams, actually, in some pretty harsh ways. It took a touchdown off the board earlier, although the Kings were able to make up for it. And let's see what we got going to the field.
So Wenatchee comes up to the line, I formation, which they've been running all game. Oh, a little wing sweep. Motions to the right, hands off inside. So a little trickeration. Started off first play, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's the old wing tee. Lots of high schools, and I'm not trying to compare them to a high school team, but a lot of high schools run a wing tee type of formation like that, where you'll have a back coming in motion, and the quarterback will just quickly turn and hand that ball off to the motion man. Yeah, the man coming across, the motion man. But the Kings, again, sniffed it out. But the main thing they did was they stayed at home. They were in position to make the play.
Yeah, and that's good. The linebacker, Ben Emo, made that, and that's exactly what you're talking about, right? The motion came to the right, comes back to the left with the inside handoff, and the linebacker stays home, makes the tackle. So here we are, second down and more than 10 to go. Ball snapped back, looks to the left, throws. There was a little bit of contact, but incomplete. The ball was thrown for Devontae Cyprian. So that'll bring up third and 10.5 yards.
Yeah, and I think what you're going to notice right there is that efficiency in their passing game. He dropped back. That was a predetermined pass. Right. He dropped back, looked to the right, threw that ball to the left before he ever looked to the left. He knew where his receiver was supposed to be, and he put it there whether the defender was there or not. The defender happened to be there, but the ball was overthrown. If he had looked for a split second and put that ball out in front of him, he might still be running.
Yeah, that's could be the result of the pressure that he's been getting on, that the Kings have been getting on the quarterback. Okay, I formation, two receivers to the bottom, one up the top, one at the top not even running. Oh, hits him in the hand. He's about the 50-yard line. Wouldn't have been enough for a first down. And that's one of the things where you ask why, if he's going to run that route, you want to get past the line to gain. But didn't matter because he dropped it out of bounds, so that's going to be fourth down.
No. We're going to have a roughing the passer call. He got laid out pretty well back there.
You were talking about the penalties. The Kings have been doing a lot better job in this game on not getting penalties. The one thing is, the one penalties that they do tend to get are these type of unsportsmanlike conduct type of penalties. So
yeah, they're a very excitable team. So when things start to go their way, you can see them ebb and flow towards that energy, and just you got to know how to corral that and use it the right way. But yeah, again, going to your points. Why throw that little short out route? That's short, not going to get you the first down anyhow. They lucked out.
Yeah, they got the ball on the 43, heading in. Now they're out of shotgun, split backs. Ball, high snap. Isaiah Thomas is right there.
Looks like Palmer's got it.
And then what happened? Now, of course, it's not Isaiah Thomas. This is not a basketball game. It's Isaiah Martin. He's just one of my favorite players. Comes off the edge. He's going after the quarterback. And
it was a poor snap to begin with. The running back tries to make an effort to get the ball. He should have just fallen on it, but he tries to make an effort to get up and run with it, ends up knocking it out of bounds. And you're looking at a 10, 15, 16-yard loss on one play. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. You can't go forward for going backwards. They don't have it in their playbook for second and third and long, and that's been proven already. Now, that was their first shotgun play of the game, and it came with 13:46 to go in the third period. That should tell you what kind of mode that they are in right now, down 29-0.
Yeah, they're down in shotgun again. Split receiver, double receivers to the top, one split to the bottom. Quick move up the middle with the Kings. I mean, they were in there as soon as the ball was snapped. I saw the Kings make a quick swim. They were under the running back about the same time the running back got the ball on the handoff. That's just one thing about going out of shotgun. You got to do it now because you're not getting any chance to get protection on when you're back to throw the ball. But the problem there is that if you're handing something off or you're trying to run the ball, you got the Kings in the backfield just about the time the ball gets there.
Well, they're looking at 3rd and 18, and their largest pickup of the game was 20 yards on a naked bootleg. So they're going to encounter some problems if they put themselves in these types of situations. Now, another thing, you have to take everything in consideration. Their center hasn't been shotgun snapping all game.
Yeah.
So now he's asked to do something that hasn't been done. You're putting your fullback in a position that's the bust they call him, hasn't been in a position all game.
Shotgun again, 2 backs, back in motion to us, 2 receivers to the bottom. So that's back looking all the time to the left. Was well covered, didn't really have a whole lot there. And I mean, it's not that you have a 3rd and 35 play anyway. So now we're in position, and I'm pretty sure they're going to punt at this point.
Yeah, there'd be absolutely no reason not to punt. I mean, you're not. If it was the 4th quarter and it was this score, you might be pressing, and you still need to press, but you still have to play football. Make something happen on the defensive side of the ball now, and maybe some of this shade coming over the stadium right now will help with some of the two-way Ironman football fatigue that I'm sure that they're feeling. Hopefully after halftime they're a little bit refreshed. Keep away from some of that cramping. Good hydration with this warm weather out here in this Daffodil area in the Puyallup Valley as they set for punt formation.
So the Kings have 3 people back, 1 halfback, 2 deep. It could have been. That's a pretty good kick. He's all the way back to the 20, takes the ball, heads up the middle, cuts, slows down a little bit, stops, reverses field, takes another step, steps back out to the side, gets a block, starts upfield, comes back inside and shuffles back around, turns it up, finally gets buried at the 50. I tell you what, usually when you see guys cutting back and forth like that, usually they get stopped right there, but that was a pretty good return. And there's another flag on the
preliminary call on the field is going to be late hit. I think there was unnecessary roughness on the defense. And we'll look at this replay here. There was good hang time underneath the punt. They were obviously scared of Weller's speed, as you can see, as they don't directly go after him immediately. They try to set a wall for him. I don't think they were calling a crackback block earlier on that replay because the flag came out much later. Towards the end here, you'll see when he gets tackled. As he's getting tackled, you'll see the near referee. Excessive celebration right there. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be on the Kings. So you see that replay right in front of the referee.
Yeah,
unsportsmanlike on the Kings, absolutely.
Yeah,
right
because
there.
the hits that we saw there, they all looked legal.
Yeah, they absolutely. They were. I thought there might have been something late coming in there, but we were just talking about this. All that energy that the Kings have that allow them to play with such fervor has to be corralled in situations like that, because that is maybe the third or fourth 15-yard penalty that they've had, and we're only 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter of this football game. That's unnecessary.
Yes, but you know what? They're actually getting better. They're actually doing a better job in this game, because that was an issue we had.
If I was the coach and this was considered better, they must like wind sprints.
And there is an injured player out there, and you notice that they're surrounded by the Kings coaching staff. Coach Max out there, Coach Tutu, and this is something that Ray points out all the time, is that it's intense. You get out there, you're flying around, you're trying to make some big plays, but when it really comes down to it, these guys have other lives besides football. They're doing it because they love it. You know how you loved it. It's great. Yeah. But they got to go to work. They got families. They practice twice a week at most. Most of them don't make it twice a week.
Right.
And so when someone goes down like that, you do see the Kings coaches get out there. The first person out there is the trainer for the Kings, and that's because that is a sign of the sportsmanship that the Kings do have.
For your All
right, there's a rally cry for your fellow players out there on the field.
Okay, 1st and 10. We're on the 35. 12-11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Set about a shotgun, single back, set off to his right. Double receivers to the top, double receiver to the bottom. Step back. He's got a guy. He's coming in. Oh, yes! That was sweet. Hey, you could tell the way when he threw it. You could tell right when Cruz threw the ball that he was going deep for something. The ball took a high trajectory. The receiver did slow down a little bit.
Yeah, the ball was underthrown.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's a long way to throw the ball. And first down on the 40, on the 37, 38.
That's a throw you have to be able to make to the long side of the field, and he was able to complete that pass. It helps that one of his better receivers was out there.
Yeah. Shotgun again, back pistol set, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Catches inside, got a
Culliver with the cut.
Out, kicks it out.
Culliver.
And that was Katron Barquette threw the block, kicked out on the block, and the touchdown was who was that?
Pierre Culliver.
Pierre Culliver
with the sweet cut outside and another flag near the end zone on the field. And considering there was nobody else around him, I'm gonna go with excessive celebration. I'm just saying that because it just seems to be the tone of the game right now. But let's see what the official call on the field is gonna be.
Yeah, so that was designed that way. Number 88.
Unsportsmanlike on the Kings.
Yep. Katron Barquette.
It'll be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown is good.
Blocked out. And then allowed Pierre Culliver to cut out, or blocked in Pierre Culliver to cut out. And so that was designed by the offensive coordinator. That was a well-designed play.
Kings off with a 2-point conversion.
Okay, so they're going to go for 2. Shotgun. He looks all the way to the right. The ball is up
through the fade.
there. Oh! And that's going to be pass interference on the defense. So we're going to get a shot for that one again. Did you catch the number?
You know what? I'm looking at the replay on that, and I believe that might be on the offense. If you look carefully, they'll know if we can run that back one more time before they make the official call. Watch the receiver. See that right there? I don't know if they call face guarding. If that's not face guarding, then that's going to be offensive interference, and that's going to be no good PAT. The official call is going to be on the field right now. Defensive.
Oh, he ended up catching it.
He got that 1 foot in. He has those long. They've went to him a couple. They've offered up that 2-point conversion twice, and they've thrown that fade to the corner to him twice. The first one was very poorly thrown to the northeast corner of this. The southeast corner of the stadium. That one was thrown a little bit better, a little far, but his receiver's size and length was able to bring it down for him in the face of adversity and the face guarding right there.
Right. And this is one of those things too when they talk about the defender has to look back for the ball. Because in that case, the receiver has a right to go get the ball. And the defender wasn't looking at the receiver. We can see it again. The defender wasn't looking at the receiver. He was running. So the receiver did, grab the guy and push him out of the way. But that's because the receiver was impeding him the defender was impeding him from getting to the ball. So in that case, wait a minute. Did they just call? What's this? Another call? Against the Kings?
I don't think they have time for that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's what we said the last time was that we say they're throwing the penalty because we're lousy dancers. That's it. See, so we think if you learn how to dance a little better in the end zone, maybe they wouldn't throw those penalties. So,
I'm sure the other team's thinking if they just stop scoring, then they wouldn't be able to dance.
There you go.
And that's my theory. If you don't want the penalties, stop me from dancing, then stop me from scoring, I won't dance. If you can't stop me from scoring, I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah. I have less of a problem with the dancing after the touchdown.
It's not that big a deal. They worked hard to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a big issue with it. I think there are some things if we're talking some of those NFL levels that are over the top, but especially on this level, I think they need to lighten up a little bit.
Another squib kick. They're going to get the ball in pretty good position as long as they don't fumble it. And that is Andrew Watson.
Right about the 40-yard line.
That's pretty good coverage. I was expecting that they would end up with better field position on that. But 11:44 to go in the third quarter. And we're going to get the ball at about the 37, 38 yard. Okay, so we say it every time. If you're calling the plays on the sidelines over there, what do you think they should do? What do you think the Wenatchee Rams should be doing here?
I might try a quick out to catch them off guard to the far side of the field. Looks like they're lined up in the middle after that, but I might try a quick out to see if they have a speedy receiver or a speedy back. Maybe get them in motion real quick, get them on a sweep, get them on something on the outside to make space. They haven't put their best playmakers in space. That's what I've yet to see from Wenatchee during this entire game. They need to take advantage or get to space.
Okay, they're back to their regular formation, I formation, whistle blown. So that suggests that it would be against the offense, because otherwise they probably wouldn't stop the play.
Right, and I think he might have had some space on that play, but maybe that's because the offensive line jumped a little bit.
It could be.
Preliminary call, of course, as we take it down to the field to find out the real one. False start.
False start.
So we got false start
Again, can't go forward for going backwards. 2 steps backward and 1 step forward is not going to get you anywhere.
Well, another way to put that is you can't catch up if you can't keep up.
Exactly. That's why they call it fishing, not catching.
So here we go.
We're on a roll.
Yeah, we're on a roll backwards. So here we go, 1st and 15. And the quick out that you suggested, that's a great idea because, I mean, it has to be quick. Quick out is about all the amount of time that they have.
They have to find space. They need to get their best playmaker in space. That is the number one thing they need to do. And by not doing that, they're allowing the Kings to dictate this football game, play a single high safety. Look at that box. They have 10 guys in the box right now, essentially. Oh, man, that's got to be another procedure penalty.
And we got another play.
That has to be another procedure penalty on the Rams. Preliminary call. Take it down to the field to find out the real one.
It's got to be on the Rams, unless the defensive guy came off unabated, but he didn't. So that's got to be on the Rams.
Correct. That's obvious when he's unabated.
Let it run.
He just keeps going.
First down and 20.
But so far, Zach Clow, I've been somewhat impressed with him. I mean, because he's under duress all the time. He's still got command of the offense. I think he's done a pretty good job considering what he's dealing with.
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, and I'd like to see them get their best playmaker in space. I mean, they're looking at 1st and 20. You can't just run the ball because it's first down when you're down 37-0 in a playoff game.
He had a little crossbuck there. He faked inside to the fullback to the right, then handed to the running back coming across. Hits the hole. Hey, they got 4 yards. That's not nothing, obviously.
But there are a lot of teams that don't have the ability or don't have an offense built to come back from such deep deficits. And I think tonight we may be witnessing one of those football teams. And it doesn't help when the other one's clicking.
Yeah. Not much you can do. Not much you can do when the Kings are want to raise favorites.
They're Kings.
Hitting
They're
on
Kings.
all the cylinders. Yes. Okay. So here we go. 2nd down and what do you say? 16.
Now he picked up 4. They're moving forward.
Moving forward, I formation. 1 split to the top, 1 split down here. Get the Kings to jump. Handoff inside. Follows the fake the handoff inside. Follows the bus into the line. That was almost an option look.
A yard or 2 before he's brought back down. Rams are moving closer, but still a big.
Running between the tackles has not been effective for them at all this football game. But unfortunately, there's nothing that I can say that has been effective for them this football game, except for showing up. And I am not trying to make cheap jokes. Unfortunately, it looks like the Rams of Wenatchee are just going to fall short, and it's really early in this football game, but their offense has not been able to get going at all. For those of you out there watching, you've obviously visualized and seen this, and you're just watching the total domination of a 2-time defending national champion.
All right, 3rd and 14, I formation. 2 receivers split to the bottom, 1 to the top. Quick out, as you were saying. No, going over the top, put up some. You know what? I saw that. I saw him going up the sidelines, and I go, there's no way they're going to try to go deep, right? You got to do a quick out. I was going to give you props there, but he went upfield. And it was just good coverage. And that's impressive because your defensive guys, they're not expecting him to go over the top.
Absolutely not. But they're playing disciplined.
Right.
He was disciplined on that play. Another thing that I think hurts is I'm not sure what kind of arm strength Klo has because he struggled. If he was able to get that ball over the top, I think he could still be running on greenbacks into that end zone. But he wasn't able to get that ball over the top. Now, he is their punter. Maybe he should have kicked it to him.
Okay, so we have the three Kings deep, 1 midway, 2 real deep. There's the kick. It's up. This is returnable. There's very little coverage. He's got a couple blockers in front of him. Starts right up the left sideline. Accelerates. He's going there. He's got a blocker. Cuts inside. Cuts back out. Another blocker. He's all the way. I don't think he got touched. There is a flag on the field. Yes. That was one.
His own players telling him to bring it back.
Is that right?
Yeah, you look at their own players are telling them to bring it back. There was something obvious that must have happened. And I see something on the sideline. Some coaches and some players are having a conversation that didn't look too peaceful. But as we look on the return here on the outside, it's obvious he's got a wall down the left side. He's out kicking his coverage every time. He makes one step in and the outside. I think you might have seen a block in the back that just passed right there. If you had just seen it right there, about the 30-yard line, 40-yard line where the flag is. So I think we're going to be coming back here on a crackback block. And believe me, those aren't fun. I've taken one. They put you out of games. They stop you from ever playing again. They're dirty football, and that's why they're illegal.
Well, the officials are still down there on about the 35-yard line talking about it. The chains haven't moved. So, this is good. We'll get a chance to watch him gain more yards.
And here's the official call. And that's what will be an illegal block in the back on the offense, well, the return team. So they'll walk it off 15. And I think what we're noticing here is I look on the offensive side of the ball right now, standing around the huddle for the Kings, and we had spoke about some of the adjustments they were going to make on the offensive line, and I think on this left tackle side, that has stuck from that last series that we spoke of to see if they can get some better protection for Cruz on that left side. You see that big body holding Stern over there, big number 69. Check that, Chance Dollarheight holding off that left side, see if he can give Cruz better protection.
Okay, shotgun again, double backs in the backfield, two wide to the right, motion back out to the right, trips to the top, one wide receiver down here, ball snap, he's looking all the time over here to Katron Barquette. That's a good move, right? He's there. It's halfway to the first down, but then see how he makes this little move? Rolls in to get the defender to miss him and then turns upfield.
He's lucky. He almost lost that football. Watch, he caught that football. As he turns, he almost loses this football right here. And then he has to fight for it back and keeps fighting for yards. That's excellent football play to put him in second and short.
Okay, shotgun. Handoff inside. Starts to the left, cuts to the right, then turns it on up. That's a good hard run. Hey, you know, he knows what he has to get. We got to get 2 yards for the first down. He just gets it, hits it, then turns it up.
Right. The name of the game is moving the chain. That's the name of the game. Move the chain. You keep moving the chain, you're going to score the points. You keep scoring the points, you're going to win the game.
So we got first down and 10.
Shotgun. Doubles to the top and bottom. He sees a guy. He's going. He's got it. That's a touchdown.
In for the score. Touchdown.
And you can tell just when he set back, when he threw the ball, before he even looked where the receiver was, the way he threw it, you knew he was going for a big play.
All day long. And you know what that? Credit the protection of this offensive line. That left side, they tried to rush up the middle, and he had all day to get that ball over the top. He beat the safety. The safety took a very, very poor angle to get to that football. The safety should never dive in on a ball thrown over the top. So he beat the safety, he beat the DB, and he beat the team for another touchdown. 43-0 with 8:38 to go here in the third quarter, as they're going to go for two again to make it a 45-point game. And, I mean, don't you just have to look for the fade? Are they going to just back to the fade? Do they go to the well again?
Yeah, right off there we go.
Oh, it's a screen. It was a wide receiver screen.
Yeah, it was a quick out. That was designed. It was a quick out to the receiver, but the two receivers in front of them
turned into blockers.
Ran up and did some blocking.
Yeah, as you can see on the replay here, goes in motion. Motion man becomes the receiver. The receivers turn into blockers.
And that was, I tell you
and
what.
Do the numbers. That's 4 on 2
all the time. That's Mike Waller. And that's your offensive coordinator setting that up. But Mike Waller at the point of attack making the tackle. And I want to jump out there, and the big run that was made to set up that touchdown was by Archie Ioramo, and I work with his sister, so I'm going to give a shout out to Archie's sister. She was a security guard. I'm a truck driver, so in fact I talked to her last night when I picked up my load of refrigerators that I took down to Portland. So way to go, Archie.
I just noticed something that we've been touching on it off and on since about halftime, and we had just spoke of the chains for Chance Dollarheight coming in at left tackle. I don't know if he's injured or if something has come up in his life, but it does appear as if he has left the field for the time being, as I've seen him walk across the track here at Chief SI Stadium and out of the actual stadium. Still in pads, so I don't know if he's headed back to the locker room.
All right, dude?
Yes, sir. After we talked about his great play and getting the opportunity in the second half. So hopefully everything's okay with him, and we'll see him back on the field here shortly.
So King's ready to kick off. There it is, another squib, keeping it on the ground. It's going to be picked up by, he stumbled, he fumbled it, but he picks it up, heads right upfield, gets what he can get. That's probably what you want to do in a case like this, just jam it on upfield, and then set up and try to get something going.
And by that sound means that it is a running clock, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, and so it's called the mercy rule. And when you get up by apparently 45 points, they just start running the clock. So it will only stop on official timeouts. Now they're calling procedure against the Kings. So on that kickoff, one of the guys was so eager to get down, to get in, to make a tackle, that he jumped off sides and went down before the ball was kicked. Either that or the kicker didn't wait. You got to raise your hand before you kick. Wait for the whistle of the official. So it's probably one of those two things. Did you notice? Did they cross the line before the ball was kicked? Did you notice?
I missed it on that particular play. I don't know if we can run that back the kickoff real quick, coming from their side of the ball when we have time. And let's check the replay. Doesn't look like it's going to start quite from the kickoff, but you can see at least on the bobble here. And then look, another good open field tackle right there. Number 19 coming in and making a solid open field tackle in the middle of the field, which is something that I can honestly say they gang tackle in the middle, but when in one-on-one situations, the Kings have shown me something in breakdown formation to make a tackle.
Yeah, we'll give that to Darnell Thompson, a wide receiver.
Yeah, got to give those shout-outs. Got to credit every individual on the field, right?
That's right.
If I was playing out here, you better say my name.
Well, the thing is, some of these numbers actually are different. So
fair enough. Just say my name then.
Yeah,
just throw me out there.
All right, okay.
They won't even know.
Okay, my name.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so we're going to start the ball. We're going to start the possession at about the 40-yard line. 60 yards for a touchdown. That's the thing, though, is that I wouldn't mind seeing them score a touchdown, the Rams score a touchdown. All right, keep the game a little closer, but when you're on defense, what do you think? What do you think the Kings defense thinks about giving up a touchdown?
Oh, that's not something that's in their mind at all. Right now, they're talking shutout.
That's right.
It's not something that's kept quiet on the sidelines. They're walking around like, hey, you don't let them get past you. You don't let them score. We're not letting them get in the end zone. Half the game they were saying we're not letting them cross 50-yard line. Right. They've only done it twice. Still, to this point in the game.
Okay, two splits, one to the top, one to the bottom, tied into the right. He's hit as he's thrown.
That's going to be incomplete.
And,
what are you going to do?
And we looks like we have a injured Ram on the field. He's getting up, a little gimpy, but he's getting up on his own power. Doesn't look like a trainer's coming out to the field. He's making his way back to the huddle. Looks like he might have just had a little stinger to a portion of his body of some sort. But, they're just out there flying and ferocious. When you have this kind of lead and you're playing with this kind of power, and you're bigger and you're faster and you're stronger and you're the two-time defending division and national champion, you know how to finish. And that's what they are trying to do right now. They're making their mark and they're finishing. They're making sure that this drive back to Wenatchee ain't going to be too pleasant for the Rams.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Same formation. Tight end to the right. Split to the right. Split to the left. Fake pitch, come back inside, a kind of a cross buck. And not a whole lot, as in nothing there. So what they're trying, this misdirection, try one way, try it back the other. That's probably going to be 3rd and 10.
I think our score update guy should actually sit up here, that way he doesn't have to walk.
So we got the running clock now, 5 minutes to go, a little over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
34-22 minutes left in the
All right. Kings are just the Kings. They just can't wait. They're not even huddling on defense anymore.
No, they have their formations pretty much set.
Yeah.
And they go the single high safety, and then they just match up with receivers and their DBs.
34-20.
So the Rams break the huddle, come up to the line, standard formation. Oh, they got two wides to the bottom, one to the top.
Look at the size of that wide receiver.
Pitch to the close size, throws it back. Sure, why not? Look out! Saw that one coming. Yeah, and that's the problem with throwing the ball back across. But that's discipline, right? The guy stayed home. The defensive back that came up and made the hit stayed home.
Well, if you look at this replay, there's some tells. Big number one, you heard me mumble while you were speaking. My apologies. Said, look at the size of that receiver in the slot. Number one, believe that was actually James Hunt. Looks like a big boy. Comes back on that cross action, that crackback block, so to speak. Not the crackback, but the actual action of the crackback to open up that throwback. Now, when you see something that out of the ordinary that hasn't been there all game, you know you better stay disciplined in your approach on defense. They did, and it resulted in a big hit and a big play and a big loss.
Yep, stayed home, 4th and 11. Again, the Kings have 2 deep, 1 middle of the way back. Gets the ball on the right, comes across the field. He's got a blocker in front of him. Cuts back, cuts up, cuts back. Waits for blocking. Waits for blocking. Look at the wave he has in front of him. Now he accelerates. Waits for the hit. There might be.
And I will tell you, it's coming back right now. Number one, middle of the field. He literally stopped, turned. Look at this replay. He literally stops, turned his back in the middle of the field to the defender, and waits for the crackback block to happen. You'll see it. He turns his back. Come on, right here. He's on the ground already. He turned around and stopped and baited him into that crackback block. It was one of the most beautiful acting jobs I have seen since this side of Denzel in Training Day. And that's only because he won an Oscar for it. Am I referencing that?
Was the King, was he already in to throw it? They stopped the clock. He's saying, that's what the official says, keep running the clock. We want to get on out of here. So now, when that happens, now the block in the back, sometimes a blocker will commit. I didn't see that. I don't know.
He did. I saw it because he came to a dead stop in the middle of the field, and he baited him into it. He truly did.
I'm not saying it's a bad call, but the way that works is that if the offensive guy commits to throwing the block and then the defensive guy turns its back, that's not a clip, actually.
Correct.
Okay, here we are. King's got the ball. Shotgun, single back, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Cruz moves out, steps to the left, steps up. Did his arm get hit? Because that was a unforceful throw.
In our vantage point up here in the booth at Chief Leschi Stadium, I actually have a pole right in front of where he released that football from. So I apologetically and unable to tell you whether or not he was able to get it off. Based upon our replay vantage point, I believe it picks up right as he releases the football and then able to catch it there. But you're right. It looked like he couldn't get that ball quite over the top. It kind of came out like a duck. So there's a distinct possibility it was deflected or his arm was hit as he went with that throw, because he was full into that throw, body, arm, everything.
Okay, shotgun. 2 backs with him, 1 in motion to the top. So you got trips to the top, got a single split down here. He's looking to the left. Oh, it's a screen. Good move, turns it upfield. That was pretty good. He had some blockers out there. There's some dancing going on.
Yeah, another good screenplay. They've called it a couple times. They've generally gone up the middle with it. That was a wide receiver screen to the outside a little bit to Waller. And as you see, backing up. They overcommit as the Rams don't see it, and he just uses some of his speed and some of his diminutive size to twinkle toe up the sideline and
good acceleration.
Absolutely, and get to 1st and 10 to go.
All right, here we go. Shotgun again. Got the double backs in the backfield. 2 to the top, 1 down to the bottom. He's looking to the right all the way. That was one heck of a catch by Pierre.
They're calling it incomplete.
One heck of a try, but I'm pretty sure that Cruz's arm got hit.
It definitely did on that play. Absolutely.
Wait, let's see that again.
From the front side, from our angle, you can't see because he rolls his backside towards us, so you can't see him kind of cradle the ball. The referee was right on top of that, though, so I'm sure it was a good call. And Cruz did get his arm hit.
I was wondering where the pressure came from there. Okay, he's back, steps up, good footwork, hangs the ball up. There's
ineligible. He had to have stepped out of bounds.
That was Catron Barquette. That looked pretty good. I mean, that was a pretty good play. I guess he was out of bounds.
I believe he stepped out of bounds, so he became an ineligible receiver and cannot be the first person to touch the football after stepping out of bounds.
So what we're saying there is that he went out of bounds before he caught the ball, and then he's not allowed to come back in and catch the ball.
Unless he's forced
in bounds, right?
Right, unless he was forced out of bounds, and in that case, he was not.
The Nation teams 45, and the Wenatchee Valley Rams 0.
All right, 45-0. Got one more quarter. It's a running clock. And we're getting ready. We're heading into next week, and we'll be here again next week at 6 o'clock. So we're looking forward to that. The Kings are just having fun. Now, this is when it's a lot of fun, right? And we're playing everybody. Of course, we don't have that many people. But you just hope that the Rams can get something going, make it work, get out of here with a little bit of a good idea, good feeling is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope for the Rams to get a little bit of a good feeling.
I don't know if you can walk away if you're the Rams with a good feeling after this football game. And my reasoning for saying that is after playing them so tough just a few weeks ago to a 19-0 game, and then coming out and getting manhandled and flat out taken to the woodshed in a playoff game, it's going to be, these things, they don't go away easy. They just don't. Especially you work so hard to get this far, and you get just taken to the woodshed. That's a difficult thing to overcome. I understand your sentiment, but it's just tough to get past. It'd be different if you lost 19-0 again.
Okay, 3rd and 8 on the 48-yard line, heading in, trips to the bottom. He's rolling out. He's chased, turns back around, got a lineman coming across to help him out, all the way back to the field, fakes it. Now he's back, gets it again. He's got a guy open in the middle. And you know what? What was that receiver doing to drop it?
He was running before he caught the football. You can see his head turn on the replay right here as you see the quarterback scramble around. Cruz goes right, turns back left as he gets to the outside. Excellent pump fake to get him in the air. Never leave your feet as a defender. Throws back across the field to a wide open receiver who clearly turns his head and then tippy-toes back because he should probably be on the bench right now.
And that's one of our favorite receivers. So this guy makes great plays all the time. I don't call out names of when the receiver makes a mistake or when a lineman makes a mistake, but that's one of the guys that we usually count on. 4th and 10. We're going to go for it. Double backs, one in motion to the top. So they got double to the top. 2 receivers down. He steps into the throw, hits the guy that was in motion. Steps out
Waller
right at the 35-yard line.
And that's Mike Waller for the first down. Ooh, that's going to be on the marker. Are they going to move the chains? That's close. But they're going to give him the first down. One thing that's beautiful, though, about the running clock, as far as us two gentlemen up here in the booth and our excellent broadcast team that we get to work with up in here, our producer, Chip over here helping us out, everybody on the front and the back ends. The beautiful part about it is we still get to see them pass the ball with the running clock.
Yeah. So he's rolling around. The receiver trips to the right, one to the left. He's got linemen saying, come on.
He's got to run. He's got to run it.
He throws it.
He's got to run it.
So many things could have gone wrong.
How was that not illegal, man? The lineman was 15 yards downfield, and they didn't even see it. I was like, he's got to run it. He's got to run it. Look, if you watch this replay, coming back to the right here. Right. See, the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Now, if you look, let's see, as the ball enters the air, you have a lineman right there. That's in the line of scrimmage. He was about 15 yards past the line of scrimmage at that point in time. But
yeah, I'm not. Okay. I'm not sure I saw that.
I saw it because I was for sure he was going to run it because he had to.
I'll take your word.
So they got away with one right there.
And we didn't get away with that one. Our receiver to the top.
And what do they say?
A little soon. We're offsides, and that's a deal again where the wide receivers wait. They don't go on the sound. They wait for the ball to be snapped. So I think that's a case where the train comes by again and blew the whistle. I think that's another offsides because of the. Well, I just noticed something. See, there's this post in the way, so I didn't know. But there's no train here.
I wasn't going to tell you there wasn't a train. Right. You didn't believe me there was a guy downfield, so I was thinking maybe I don't see the train. Yeah. Between the two of us, we're going to get this right by the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think we're there.
Fantastic.
All right, shotgun got a single back with him. Doubles to the bottom, 2 to the top. Snap, fake the handoff, hits the hip, ball's on the ground. He's got a guy that's holding.
Jump ball.
Oh, what a play. Look at the placement of his toes, plus it's defensive interference.
And that's going to be holding against the
Holding. No. What? That's the position of the flag.
catch by Waller laying out for it.
Look at his foot. Look at his feet place. It's foot placement or feet placed.
Absolutely.
Right there on the sideline.
Absolutely.
It's such. You're talking about knowledge of where your body is.
Yeah, absolutely. Field awareness.
Yeah,
field awareness. And we've actually seen Waller in particular, even on this drive, he did it on the other side of the field to pick up the last first down. You know, to put his feet there. The ball's going to be thrown a little bit to the outside, and that's excellent body control is what that is. Excellent body control.
All right, we're on the 33-yard line. That's going to be 20, 25, we're almost 25. Shotgun again. Double receivers down, hands off inside, cuts to the left, turns up, got a flag on the field, runs a whole lot of ways, but unfortunately didn't get upfield at all. That was number 27, Donald McKee. This is a case, we talked about this before, where we have so many quality running backs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen several of them this evening that have made it opportunities for themselves inside and not particularly getting outside, but they've made some good runs within the hole. You know, you were talking about early in this game, one cut and go, cut and go, and that's what they've been doing. That was designed for him to get outside, and he was trying to make that mark. But you're right, there's quality in that backfield, especially at the quarterback position.
Now, I think they just called face mask on the Kings.
So, you know that old basketball adage, the ball never lies? Remember that illegal man downfield I was telling you about?
Yeah.
The ball never lies. They're back to where they would have been if they had found the illegal man downfield. So I'm going to take a basketball adage and say the ball never lies, and it took them all the way back to where they were supposed to be.
Okay. All right, so what do we got here? We got
first and
45.
forever. First and forever. They got to go as many yards as they have points.
He's got a guy going down the field, reverse shoulder, and he's out of bounds. And he's only 5 yards short of the original line of scrimmage. Now, that was not an intentional reverse shoulder, as they talk about. That was just where the ball went. But he got open. We got a bunch of yards back.
Yeah, it appears as if no, they're calling that catch. They were calling it originally. They called it incomplete, and he argued for a bit, but they originally called it incomplete. I was going to say he's having a rough go of it this second half. A drop ball over the middle. That was a footwork thing. His foot must have been out of bounds first because he caught the ball cleanly with one hand.
It looked like it.
So this referee is right on that line. So when he tells me right foot was out of bounds first, I'm going to believe him just from that vantage. And they've been doing an excellent job all game, minus those two calls I disagreed with.
Second down, 45 yards, thereabouts. Two receivers to the top, two to the bottom. Quick out. The wide receiver ran off the defensive back, went on a fly right down the field. The slot receiver made an out move. He was open. That's Mike Waller. Been calling his name quite a bit this game.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some numbers, figures, stats, and facts on that guy because I'm telling you right now, he's put him up big tonight. The returning game, he's been a big part of the return game. He's been a big part of the receiving game. I believe he's made a couple other special teams contributions as well. But let Cruz keep throwing it around. It's fun to watch them play ball.
Yeah.
Again, that's the beautiful thing about the running clock is that you get to see them throw the ball.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, here we go.
I would like to see the Rams in this type of situation maybe come with some type of casino or all-out blitz where they're all in and just go straight down his throat and see if they can't get to him and make him throw something, exactly. Just something down his throat. Casino blitz.
Shotgun, doubles at the top, double to the bottom, throws it up over the middle, could take a shot. They're going to call targeting to the head.
And I agree with that one. I think I was able to see that one well enough. I saw helmet to helmet before shoulder to shoulder contact. I'm sure we'll get a replay as we get the look right here, ladies and gentlemen. A good solid look. Yes, sir. That's going to absolutely be targeting. In some leagues, he would no longer be allowed. He would be disqualified for the remainder of the game.
Yep.
In our current league, in the setup, in the rules, and right now, that he would just be penalized. And, there hasn't been a play that's taken them forward or backward since the 50. That wasn't a penalty.
Is that right? all the offense out here is penalties.
It has been.
Yeah.
So they were at the 50. They had that illegal man downfield that they got that pass. Then they went backwards to the 50 on about 3 penalties. Now they're all the way back to what are we saying here?
Just over the original line of scrimmage.
Just over the original line of scrimmage on third down due to a penalty.
And you know what? After this play, I want to jump in a little bit on these Well, now they're marking it. Yeah, going the other way. Here's the thing, because we talked about this earlier. These guys are out here because they love the game,
Correct.
right? And you get caught up in the moment, and I understand that, but they got to go to work. They got families. They got kids.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know what, I actually go with air on, the officials could air when they're throwing flags for contact to the head. Go ahead and throw it. I think that's something where, and I don't find anything wrong with what we're doing because we're intense, right? We're intense. We want to play the game. By we, I mean the players.
And based upon the lifestyles and what you said about these individuals who are essentially out here playing for passion,
right?
You know, they have a livelihood when they leave here that they need to go back to. Getting a concussion out here isn't good for their home life,
right?
So they do need to err on the side of caution as far as the referees are concerned. Then you got to think of the players, though. They're out there trying to make that highlight. This could be their last shot, that glory time, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you know when your time's ticking. So they're still out there doing it. So the referees need to err on the side of caution, like you said.
Okay, shotgun, double receivers at the top. Quick out and up. Oh, man!
He's made up for the drop, for the out-of-bounds play that were on this drive. He just made up for it.
This is a great one. He goes out, right? Make a quick out, then turns it up and makes a one-handed grab. When I played there, see the little zig and zag? When I played, you had to stick them. Look at that. That's a Sports Center highlight right there.
Out and up. Out and up. SC, hashtag SC Top 10.
And the great thing, those of you watching out there, you can watch this game again and again, and people in the stands, although of course you can't hear me, you'll be able to watch this game over and over and over again. That's one of the great things about Apache Wolf Productions with our boss Chip Begay over here. Thanks a lot. We do appreciate it.
Can't do it without the production team, right?
And I didn't call him Adobe this time, so that's a good thing. I at least got the name right. It's good to get the name of the company that, well, it doesn't pay you, but that you get to work for. Here it is, extra point. They're going for the extra point this time. Oh!
Those issues have persisted all game long. That is the third or fourth fumbled snap I've seen, and it's hard for me to count because they've scored so many times.
Yeah.
But they've gone for two several times as well.
Well, here's the thing, and the opponents can keep this in mind. They found the weakness of the Kings. They've missed 5-6 extra points.
So you can let them drive downfield. You just got to hold them to field goals, and then hope that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But it looks like their two-point game is just as well because they got some lengthy, long-armed wide receivers, as you just saw in that touchdown, as you've seen on the fade routes for the two-point conversions. So if you want to stop them inside their 10 and and try to force them to a field goal, they've proven that they have receivers that'll jump up and go get the ball. And then they got the little scat back guys like Waller who can just run past you in the return game. Bigger, faster, stronger, more depth.
Yeah, that's true. Years ago, I was a defensive coordinator at a high school, Mendocino High School, and in one game, I absolutely took pride in the fact that the opposing team tried 7 two-point conversions, and we stopped them every single time.
So, fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, we found our strength.
That's two touchdowns.
7 times they score, they won't get the two-point conversion. So anyway, that was kind of the deal there.
I was on the opposite side of one of those. I played a team playoff game years ago. I was in high school, 20-some-odd years ago. Their quarterback was 1 for 1 for 1 touchdown. 1 for 1 for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. It was the last play of the game. That's how they won the game.
For the whole game?
The whole game, he threw the very last play of the game on the 1 yard line. Threw a touchdown pass.
See, you know what? You can say that, and I know then that it was years ago, right? Because who only throws one pass these days? All right.
Yeah. Well, it's high school, so there's a lot of wing T stuff. And, here's the thing. The quarterback was Grady Sizemore. I don't know if you remember. He's played the last 15, 20 years for the Indians organization, been around in baseball. Cascade of Everett High School. Grady Sizemore.
I was thinking I know about every quarterback or football player, but he's baseball is what you said?
Well, he ended up playing baseball. He was a quarterback in high school and played baseball, but he got drafted out of high school to play baseball, and sometimes you can't turn down that money.
That would explain.
And longevity.
That would explain why I didn't know who this famous person was.
Oh, well, he ended up playing baseball, but he was a mainstay in the Indians organization for years in the outfield. Leadoff hitter, stole a lot of bases. But yeah, I'll never forget that. 1 for 1 for 1 yard and a touchdown, and that's how we got knocked out of the playoffs. They ran the ball all game long.
Yeah.
Then that.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10. It's the Wenatchee's ball on just about the 46-yard line. We got a running clock. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go. 51-0. I formation. Two guys to the top. Step back. Throw. Wow, man.
There's no.
Did someone hit it?
You know what?
Let's see that again.
I think there's the possibility he lost that on his own.
Yeah.
And it looks like our replays are going to show towards the end and the roll through of that. But to be honest with you, I believe he lost that on his own on first look.
Well, here's the deal. If someone hit it, they were there about the same time the ball got there.
Well, see, I have a lot of questions. Why aren't they allowing him to take larger drops? Does he not have the arm strength to get the ball downfield? Why aren't they allowing him to take his drops are 2 and 3 steps, and they're not even consistent drops.
Well, that's all the time he has, though.
Well, maybe he could create more time if he took a 7-step drop.
Well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to throw further back, you're going to have to take the shotgun. I mean, if he's going to throw the ball, you probably want to take it out of the shotgun.
They've done that about 3 times on one series. One went over their head for a 20-yard loss. Pretty sure the other one was a sack, and the other one, I don't remember because it probably wasn't fruitful either, unfortunately. Right now, if you are the Rams of Wenatchee, you're playing for pride. You're playing for that name on the front and back of your jersey, proverbially. And you're playing for what you know, that 0 on the board that you don't want to go home with.
Yeah, not that.
And I'll tell you right now, every single Puyallup Nation King is saying zeros, shutout, shutout. That is a conversation piece right now.
That's true. So we're at the 2-minute warning. That's why the clock did stop. Straight off hand up the middle. Oh, cuts to the right. You know, and even there, it looks like we got something going. I mean, wow, look at that. He gained 5 yards. You know, it's still going to be 3rd and 12.
Well, he was
not a bad run.
He was running north and south, but he decided to start running east and west. And that gives time for the other teammates to come and corral, to fly to the football. When you start running east and west, the guys who are running north and south can get to you a whole lot quicker.
Yeah, there's some truth to that.
So we're looking at 3rd and about 16 here.
2 receivers to the top. I formation. Handoff inside. The bus is leading. The running back hit a different hole. The bus led out. Running back hit inside. Just got what he could get. That was a pretty good gain, but it's still going to be 4th and 8.
So I assume with that is they were just looking up to make it a 4th and more manageable so that they can put the ball in the air, because they probably, again, their longest play of the game was a naked bootleg earlier in this game off of a misdirection.
Yeah.
And so they haven't been proven to be able to throw the football. So 4th and 16, they're probably just looking to, or 3rd and 16, they were looking at it as 2 downs, obviously.
Yeah.
But they just wanted to make it shorter to get to that next, 4th and 8.
Yeah, and this is going to be the last play of the game. Just hand it off. Oh, he's got the corner, turns it up, gets the first down.
Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. Give your team a shot.
Well, but it's a first down. They should stop the clock on the first down, right?
Not if it's running, apparently.
Oh,
it's a running clock. So
okay, there you go.
They don't have the urgency that I would still have for a team that hasn't scored. That's just me. That's the way I play. That's the way I would coach. I would get up there and spike that ball and try to get something downfield. But
one more.
They're just going to hand. No.
Nope.
And that ball's going to be in the dirt, incomplete.
I haven't heard a whistle. I don't think they knew what to call. And the clock's still running.
And that's the game. And there you go. That's another big game, 51-0. The last several games have been about that, 51-0. In fact, the last time we were in a game, as I recall, where the score wasn't a 50-point blowout, was against these same guys.
Hold on. I think we're going to get a 1 untimed down. Are they going to bring the 1 untimed? There's a roughing the passer call.
Yeah.
So are we going to get an untimed down? All the players are on the field shaking hands, and pads are being taken off, but there's a roughing the passer call, and that could be room for untimed down unless there's room in the rules to negate that due to the score.
Yeah, to decline it. One untimed down. There we go.
I mean, at least they get a shot.
So Brady Sizemore had a game where he had 100% completions.
Yeah.
One more shot.
Oh, he had a perfect passer rating.
Perfect passer, 100%.
It was, thanks for reminding me. I was trying to let that go. That's haunted me for 20-something years. Still,
is that right?
About 20 years.
Yeah.
That's haunted me. I'll let it go one day.
Well, that's okay, because I actually was going to tell the story, but now we're about out of time. So, because I once played in a game where a quarterback completed first three passes of the game for touchdowns. So. But I'll have to say that
The first 3 passes of the game for touchdowns?
First 3 passes of the game for touchdowns.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then the 4th pass, he completed, but it wasn't a touchdown. It was down inside the 10-yard line. And this is one of the, I have a long story, maybe it's for the next game. But this is one of the reasons I hate BYU, because it was the last game of my career. We were playing BYU for the championship of the WAC. It was the WAC in those days. And it was Mark Wilson, 1, 2, 3 completions, first 3 completions, 21-0 in the first quarter, and that was the end of my career. So, 1 untimed down, he drops back, Seps throws it.
And Bingham picks it up, and he's getting downfield. That's it, 25-30, 35. He's got to lay the blockers and outside, and he gets pushed out to end the game. So at 51-0 here from Chief Leshigh Field, the Kings, the Puyallup Nation Kings, dominating 3 facets of the football game here in the Western Washington Football Association playoffs.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was really expecting a better game than this. Although at halftime I talked to some of the players, and they were saying we didn't have the players, we didn't have the same guys back that are here now.
Understandably.
They are even shorter than they were the last time we played, and so I guess the players were expecting this. But
yeah, travel concerns always come into play when you're crossing states and going across and getting everybody and rallying all your troops, so to speak.
So in closing, what was most impressive by the Kings?
I'm sorry?
What did you find most impressive? I mean, it's a blowout, 51-0. That's nice.
I think what I found most impressive was probably the array of wide receivers they're willing to go to.
Right.
You oftentimes, and they go trips a lot. So they went 5 wide, trips up top, 2 down low, 5 wide, and they were willing to throw to all 5 of them.
Yes.
And oftentimes they had some, they like to set you up, and I like that. So I think that impressed me the most is that they were willing to go to all 5 of their receivers, and they like to set you up. For instance, how many times did they throw that out route right here on our side of the field and then hit him up top? Because he pushed that defender back, and then that defender finally would bite on that out route, and he'd shoot right up top, and they'd score a touchdown.
Sure.
So I think setting up and the utilization of all their receivers, and then again, bigger, stronger, faster. They're impressive on the football field when it boils down to it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You know, you just channeled your inner Ray. That's one thing Ray keeps pointing out is that they're always going to a different receiver.
Yeah.
One game, one receiver. Culliver has a great game. Another game.
Waller,
right?
He had a great game today.
And Barquette, the other game.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right.
Yeah, he made a great catch at the end of the game tonight.
Right.
That's that hashtag SC Top 10. Right. That's what we got to do here.
That's right. Hey, so you know what? We're going to be back here next week, 6 o'clock. Third round of the playoffs, because we had a bye before, and we sure hope all of you will join us. And we're going to bring you another great game, I think. Hey, thanks a lot for helping out. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure to be in the box with you, Randall. Remember, you guys can always catch us all 3 platforms. That's Twitch TV, that's Twitter, as well as Facebook, and as well as cgame.live. So make sure you follow us here. Again, from the Daffodil area, the Puyallup Valley, Chief Leshigh Stadium, the WWFA playoffs, Puyallup Nation Kings 51, the Wenatchee Rams 0. And yes, that was for effect, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for watching another edition of the Game of the Week right here on cgame.live. Join us again for more play-by-play as cgame.live brings you all the football action in our next Game of the Week right here on cgame.live.